dictates what is success? You know, we've been manipulated all through the generations and the years. You know, who decides that? Who decides what's beautiful? Who decides what's ugly? I was really sitting and thinking a lot lately about success and who dictates that? Who says if somebody's successful or not? In society, back in the early years, having a small little house with a white picket fence was the American dream. The American dream was to have enough of work that they could live a very comfortable life with a small house and a picket fence and have all their needs met. Shouldn't that be what it's like today? I mean, shouldn't that be our thoughts and what our goals are today? But then, what happened? They got their little house, they got their white picket fence, and then the neighbor beside them built onto their house. And their house became a house and a half. And then all of a sudden, people were saying that was success. So the guy sitting in his little house with his white picket fence looked at the guy beside him, and all of a sudden, he wasn't happy anymore. To him, he wasn't successful. So then he had to get the bigger house. In through society, that's how it's been. Everyone has to get a bigger house, bigger barns, bigger everything. Back in Victorian days, and things were different. What was it like to have beauty back then? In some cultures, a woman that's overweight is considered extremely beautiful. In some cultures, a woman that's extremely thin looks malnourished and looks ill, looks sickly. But here in the United States, the thinner you are, the more beauty you have. Who says that? What is wrong with the society that we're living in today? And that is simply because everyone is trying to strive to be on the upper end of the ladder. There's nothing wrong with having goals. There's nothing wrong with striving for something. But if we're chasing the all-American dollar, really? Are we successful? I look at success as different. Now, my thinking growing up was different. We climbed the ladder of success. My dad started with a mobile home park. He fixed it up, then he got another one. Fixed it up, then he got another one. And soon he had multiple mobile home parks. And then he set his eyes on having little villages. And they weren't just mobile home parks anymore. And while all that success brought him a lot of financial freedom, slowly his life in other ways became unraveled. And I think it got to the point where it was always that next high. But see, the thing is, when you get that next high, no matter what it is, there's always a low. Whatever happened to just having that little house with a picket fence and enough of money to live a nice, happy life? A lot of people are doing that now simply because they have to. Earning a paycheck now is not near as easy as it was years ago. And while the economy has different slides and highs and lows and all of these things can happen, having a lot of money to me was not ever a goal of mine. I'm happy with where I'm at. And my husband grew up with a different philosophy. The wealth of a man is determined on his place in this world. He was always taught a true man has wealth. And that's something he grew up his whole life. So for him to strive to become a rich man was important to him. And he felt he was only worth something if he made income. And sadly, or maybe not sadly, he had some really harsh realities, even one not so very long ago. And he realized that his calling maybe isn't what he thought it was going to be, and that God had a different idea of what will enrich his life. And we all make mistakes in life, every single one of us. So there's no pointing fingers at people, because everybody has a situation in their life that they're really trying hard to overcome. I am no different than that. What my husband has a difficult time overcoming, I have no problem with it, because that's something that's not a weakness in my life. But then I have things that I need to overcome. Like, I live large, I live big. Everything to me is big. So I could exaggerate just a tad bit, even though I don't do it quite as much. I am not a perfect person, that is for sure. But I want to tell you some things that happened to me this week that were abundance, the simple life. And it was abundant living on little. Here is something interesting. I've always wanted to have the Baker Creek's The Big Catalog. It costs money, it's not free. And I always thought it would be fun to have it, but I never really could quite afford it. I mean, I guess if I had to, I could buy it, but I just couldn't justify it. I ordered their free catalog with 1 pack of seeds. And guess what they sent me? Now, I assume they are sending this to people because it's at the end of the year. I don't know why, but they sent me the large catalog, something I've always wanted. And that there is Simple Abundance. Now, you may say that seems silly, but when I'm watching every penny I have now, this was a blessing to me. 7 years I wanted this catalog. Why all of a sudden did it come this week for me, free of charge? I'll let that up to you all to figure that out. Was it coincidence? Or was it just a little gift for me? You know, just a little gift for some of the troubles and trials that I've gone through this week. I ordered this book a month ago. It just wouldn't come, it wouldn't come, it wouldn't come, and it was $3.50. That's it. And finally, it showed up in the mail this week. Simple Abundance. 365 days to the balance in a joyful life. My husband and I, especially my husband, is realizing it's the little things in life, and that if our everyday needs are provided, that's all we need. We are not called to be anything more than the average American that's just enjoying the simple abundances of life. So there you go, my friends. Simple abundance. You know, we've been lied to all of these years. We've been lied to about success. We've been lied to what gives true happiness. We've been lied to invest your money in this and you'll grow big income levels. You know, we're bombarded every single day. Every single day. My husband was watching a video and it was 10 minutes of really good talk. Then all of a sudden they said, oh, by the way, if you want to learn how to invest your money, buy our book. Everything has a price these days. And you know what? I'm tired of it. I'm tired of everything having to have a price. Can't we just share our lives without trying to get some money out of it? I know people need to make a living. I do too. I have to make a living. I need to pay for my electricity. I need to pay for my property tax. But the get-rich scheme is a scheme. If it's too good to be true, my friends, it is not good. If it's too good to be true, it's a scam. And my husband learned that the hard way. But you know what? Life is a journey. Life is about learning lessons. Life is about going forward and thinking ahead. Life is about taking the moment and the opportunity right now. Life is not about being rich. Life's not about being poor. Life's about doing the best that you possibly can do with what you got. And once people start realizing that our life is so short, that we don't need to chase after the riches. We don't need to chase after all of these things that are promised to us, because you know what? I don't want to be the rich man, because the rich man has his own troubles. I'd rather keep it simple. Keep it sweet and simple, and keep it abundant on very little. Take care, everyone. We'll see you guys again tomorrow.